Hey, this is Ben. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a recreation of a speech I gave at Toastmasters a few weeks ago. This is an inspirational speech, and I try to meld a biblical story into a modern day application. So stick around. One dark and stormy night, there was a small group of people huddled in the corner of a boat. See, what had started out as your average trip across the sea had turned into something a lot scarier, a lot darker. Those in the boat started to talk amongst themselves. See, they knew what was going on. They knew how bad the storm was, and they also knew that their leader wasn't there. See, their leader had taken them to safety, to shore many times before, not in a literal sense, but more in a metaphorical sense. See, there had been that time when that crazy man, many said that he was demon-possessed. He was so strong he could break through any iron chains. There was that time that he was calmed by just a word from their master. And there was the other time the crowd was pressing in on them. No one thought that any of them would escape unharmed, but somehow their master was able to take them through the crowd without any of them being harmed. See, this was a special kind of leader. This was the kind who always seemed to know the right thing to say. He always seemed to know exactly what to do. But he wasn't there. Suddenly, off in the distance, they saw something coming to them from across the water, as if things weren't already bad enough. What was this? Some kind of ghost, some kind of apparition, some kind of phantom. Suddenly, they heard the thing that was coming to them from across the water cry out, "Fear not, for it is I." It was their leader. This, of course, brought them great comfort. But one of them, the most reckless in the group, he decided it wasn't just enough to see the leader. It wasn't just enough to hear his voice. He had to go out. He had to go out and be on the water with him. He said, "Master, if it is you, call me. Call me to you." And against the better judgment of the people back in the boat, they heard the master say, "Come." Suddenly this man does the unthinkable, and he takes his hands and he puts them on the corner of the boat. He says, and what he does is he steps one leg over, and as it goes onto the water, he's able to stand, and then the other leg, and he's coming across the water. He's going towards his master. Those who were back in the boat, they knew something special was going on. They were speechless. They were witnessing a miracle. But as the man was walking across the water toward his master, suddenly he looked around, and he thought to himself, "What am I doing? The waves are still here. The wind is still blowing." And suddenly, he starts to sink. First, the water's at his feet. He starts to think to himself, "Why did I leave the boat?" And then the water's at his ankle. He's struggling more, and it's at his knees. And he's thinking to himself, "Oh, those people who are back in the safety of the boat. Why am I not there?" And then it's at his chest, and he starts to wonder, is this the last thing that anyone's going to see of me, this foolish person who thought that he could walk on water? And suddenly, he reaches up his hand and he cries, "Master, save me." And the hand of the master grabs his and pulls him up. And the master says, "O ye of little faith, why did you doubt?" Now I have a question for you. Is this a story about someone walking on water and someone calling him out that happened 2,000 plus years ago? Well, yes and no. See, when I see a story like this, I think to myself, am I ever going to be in a boat on the sea in a storm? Probably not. So what does this story speak to me? I try to look at it in a very pragmatic sense. See, let's break it down. The boat. I kind of alluded to this before. The boat represents the place of safety, the place of security. Stephen Covey, in his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, talks about people who have resigned themselves to riskless living, to think, if taking a risk is so dangerous, I'm more happy and I'm going to be better on in my life if I just stay in the boat, if I don't take any risk. If there's such a high percentage of failure, why would I even want to do it? So that's the boat. That represents the place of safety and security in life. What is the storm? What is the water? Well, that represents chaos. The unknown. The great hero stories of the past involve somebody that went out and conquered chaos. Some culture says he fought a snake. Some cultures say he fought a dragon. But what he did was he went away from the safe position that he was in, and he went out into the unknown, and he did something, and he conquered something, and he made something of himself. See, we all know this. That's why we love watching movies. That's why we love hearing stories of people that inspire us. Maybe you have a dream. Maybe you have a vision to create something that's not yet been created. You want to walk on water in a sense. You want to produce a miracle. So, you come to the edge of the boat, the edge of the place of safety, and you step out. And you get both your feet out there, and you're walking on water. And suddenly you look around, and things start to get shaky, as they usually will at the very beginning of any venture, of any new experience that you have. You begin to sink. You begin to think, maybe this was just a dumb idea. Maybe I shouldn't have taken the risk. Maybe people are laughing at you. Maybe you think, I wish I was back in the safety of the boat. I wish I hadn't have done that. Maybe that's where you're at right now. That's one of the possible solutions to when you start to sink. The other is, get your eyes back on the thing that got you out of the boat in the first place. Your vision, your dream, your passion. Reach up and grab a hold of it. So each of us is probably one of those two people today. Let's not kid ourselves. Each of us, somewhere down deep, has a dream, has a vision. The only real question is, are you still in the safety of the boat, or are you out on the water seeking your dream, seeking your vision? If you're still in the boat today, I would encourage you to take a leap of faith. Step out on the water and pursue your dream. And if you're already on the water, I'd encourage you to continue to focus on the thing that got you out of the boat in the first place, on your dream. Thank you. Again, thanks for watching the video. Please like and subscribe. It helps the channel out a great deal.